Ladies and gentlemen, today we explore the refined blueprint of women who demonstrate not only intelligence but elegance, self-mastery, and strategic living. These women do not rise by accident. Their success is cultivated by intention, emotional awareness, and an unwavering commitment to self-development. Let us walk through the key habits that shape highly intelligent women into the graceful powerhouses they are. Highly intelligent women are not defined solely by academic knowledge or career accomplishments. Rather, their strength lies in the way they live their lives with intention. Every decision, habit, and relationship is approached with careful thought and alignment to a larger purpose. This way of living doesn't happen by chance. It's cultivated over time through self-awareness, discipline, and a clear understanding of personal values. Intentional living is not about rigid control, it is about clarity. Highly intelligent women understand the importance of being the architect of their own life. They don't allow the outside world to dictate their pace, priorities, or passions. Instead, they examine what truly matters to them, what energizes them, what aligns with their future goals, and what enhances their well-being, and make daily decisions accordingly. Whether they are managing their time, choosing friendships, pursuing careers, or crafting personal routines, there is always a sense of direction behind their actions. One of the key features of intentional living is the ability to say no with confidence. Intelligent women know that every yes comes with a cost, be it time, energy, or opportunity. Because of this, they are selective with what they commit to. This doesn't make them dismissive or selfish. Rather, it reflects their awareness of limited resources and their refusal to spend them on things that do not serve their growth. They don't stretch themselves thin to meet social expectations or seek approval. They understand the value of boundaries not as walls to keep others out, but as gates that preserve energy for what truly matters. In the world of highly intelligent women, routines are not dull or mindless. They are systems that support efficiency and mental clarity. From morning rituals to evening reflections, their habits are built to nourish their body, sharpen their mind, and stabilize their emotions. These routines are often rooted in simplicity. For example, starting the day with quiet reflection or journaling helps them center their thoughts and emotions. Meal planning or organizing their workspace ensures less decision fatigue throughout the day. Even leisure is approached with intention. They take rest not as an afterthought, but as a necessary pillar of sustainable success. Moreover, intentional living reflects in how they build their environments. Intelligent women understand that their surroundings can either inspire them or drain them. Therefore, they curate their physical space in a way that reflects order, beauty, and clarity. Clutter is not just seen as a physical inconvenience, it's a mental distraction. Whether it's the home they maintain, the clothes they wear, or the digital content they consume, everything is selected with purpose. This level of discernment reduces chaos and reinforces a mindset of calm, focus, and readiness. Socially, they surround themselves with people who elevate, not drain them. They don't maintain relationships out of obligation, nor do they engage in constant drama or shallow interactions. Instead, they seek depth. They invest in relationships that encourage growth, mutual respect, and healthy boundaries. They are also not afraid to walk away from connections that no longer align with who they are becoming. Their social circle is not built on proximity or popularity, but on shared values and meaningful interaction. Another key aspect of intentional living is self-auditing. Highly intelligent women regularly assess where they are versus where they want to be. They ask themselves hard questions. Is this serving me? Am I acting out of alignment with my values? Is this habit moving me forward or holding me back? This practice of self-reflection helps them course correct without shame. They understand that growth is not linear and that intention sometimes requires letting go of what once worked in order to make room for something better. Lastly, their use of time reflects a deep understanding of its value. Intelligent women don't fill their days to appear busy. They prioritize focus over frenzy. Their calendars reflect their priorities, not the noise of the world. If they are learning a new skill, it's because it contributes to their vision. If they are relaxing, it's because they've planned for it. They view time as an investment, and they manage it with as much care as they would manage money. In summary, living with intention is a quiet but powerful habit that underpins everything else. It is the compass that guides intelligent women through life, not in a rigid, joyless manner, but in a way that is deeply aligned, focused, and free from unnecessary distractions. It's a life philosophy rooted in self-respect, clarity, and purpose. Emotional discipline is one of the most defining qualities of highly intelligent women. It is a quiet strength, often unnoticed at first glance, but deeply felt in every interaction they have. While intelligence is commonly associated with academic performance or decision-making skills, emotional discipline reflects a deeper form of wisdom, one that governs how they respond to life, particularly under pressure. It is not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. Intelligent women are deeply in touch with their feelings, but they do not allow those feelings to control their actions. This discipline begins with self-awareness. Emotionally mature women understand the importance of identifying what they are feeling and why. Rather than reacting impulsively, they pause. That pause creates space, a mental breath, between stimulus and response. In that space, they gain clarity, regain perspective, and choose their response consciously. Whether in moments of anger, disappointment, or even joy, they are not driven by fleeting emotional spikes. Instead, they remain rooted in their values and long-term perspective. Such emotional restraint does not mean they suppress feelings or pretend to be unaffected. In fact, highly intelligent women welcome emotional honesty. They recognize that emotions are indicators, not dictators. When they feel anxious, they examine the source. When they feel irritated, they reflect on whether it's based on unmet expectations, poor boundaries, or internal stress. This introspective habit allows them to process emotions in private before expressing them in public. It prevents unnecessary conflict, miscommunication, and regretful reactions. Their communication style is another area where emotional discipline shines. Intelligent women do not use sharp words as weapons, even when provoked. They choose clarity over confrontation and express their boundaries calmly but firmly. In professional settings, they don't allow frustration to cloud their judgment. They remain composed in meetings, manage criticism with grace, and know how to say no without guilt. Their tone is measured, their words are thoughtful, and their energy is controlled. This makes them not only respected, but often sought after in high-stress environments where calm leadership is rare. This level of discipline also manifests in their ability to detach from external validation. They are not emotionally swayed by approval or rejection. Compliments do not inflate their ego, and criticism does not shatter their self-worth. This inner stability comes from having a grounded sense of identity. They know who they are without needing constant reassurance. As a result, they don't react emotionally to every opinion, trend, or social comparison. Their self-esteem is built on internal pillars like competence, integrity, and consistent self-growth, not the fluctuating judgments of others. In relationships, this emotional discipline creates healthier dynamics. Intelligent women do not engage in manipulation, passive aggression, or emotional games. They express needs and concerns directly without theatrics. They listen as much as they speak. They don't let momentary anger destroy long-term trust. When faced with misunderstanding or disappointment, they approach it with empathy and clarity rather than accusations. They are not afraid of emotional vulnerability, but they never lose themselves in the process of pleasing others. Emotional independence is a priority. They give love freely, but maintain their sense of self. A critical part of emotional discipline is also the ability to regulate stress and avoid burnout. Intelligent women do not glorify exhaustion or chaos. When life becomes overwhelming, they slow down rather than push harder. They understand their emotional bandwidth and honor it. Rest, boundaries, and solitude are not luxuries for them. They are necessities. When emotions start to take over, they turn to grounding habits, breathing exercises, journaling, long walks, or simply quiet reflection. These routines help them return to balance without relying on external sources of comfort or distraction. Importantly, they apply this discipline inward as well. They do not shame themselves for feeling angry, insecure, or emotional. Instead, they examine the cause, offer themselves compassion, and take steps to heal or reframe their mindset. This balance between self-compassion and accountability is a hallmark of emotional maturity. They are neither too hard on themselves nor too lenient. They treat their inner world with care, knowing that true emotional discipline begins there. In a world that often rewards speed, reactivity, and instant gratification, highly intelligent women choose the slower, wiser path of emotional regulation. This path allows them to stay grounded in chaos, lead with calm presence, and build trust in both personal and professional circles. It gives them the quiet authority that does not need to shout to be heard. Ultimately, emotional discipline is not about control. It is about self-respect. It is the daily practice of choosing growth over reaction, clarity over confusion, and strength over volatility. Highly intelligent women do not see personal development as a phase or a project with an endpoint. For them, growth is a lifelong commitment, a mindset that influences every area of life. They understand that true intelligence is not static, it evolves. Continuous refinement is not about chasing perfection, but about intentionally becoming a more aligned, capable, and fulfilled version of oneself over time. This process is rooted in curiosity, humility, and self-discipline. One of the most defining traits of women who embody this mindset is their openness to learning. They are avid learners, not only from formal education or structured settings, but from everyday life. They read not just to consume information, but to transform their thinking. They listen to podcasts, attend workshops, engage in meaningful conversations, and observe others with the intent to grow. Their learning extends across diverse areas: emotional intelligence, financial literacy, etiquette, communication, wellness, leadership, and cultural awareness. Nothing is beneath or beyond them when it comes to knowledge. They are lifelong students, always seeking insight and refinement, but it's not just about learning more, it's about applying it. Highly intelligent women integrate what they learn into action. If they study body language, they practice it in conversations. If they learn about financial planning, they adjust their budgets. If they understand more about boundaries, they implement them in their relationships. Refinement for them is active, not passive. It's not about hoarding information, but embodying it. This ability to convert learning into transformation is what sets them apart. They are also deeply reflective. Intelligent women regularly take time to evaluate their habits, mindsets, and environments. They ask themselves honest questions: is this still serving me? Where am I resisting growth? What patterns keep repeating? This self-inquiry is not done with self-criticism, but with self-responsibility. They do not fear discovering their blind spots because they know that truth is not a threat, it's a tool. They use feedback as fuel, even when it's uncomfortable. Rather than defending outdated behaviors, they remain flexible and open to improvement. Refinement also includes how they present themselves to the world. Intelligent women understand that appearance is not superficial, it's communicative. They are intentional about how they dress, speak, and carry themselves. They value grooming, posture, poise, and how they show up in different environments. This isn't done for vanity, but out of respect for themselves and the spaces they enter. Their presentation reflects self-awareness and thoughtfulness. It sends a message of self-respect and quiet confidence. Their spaces are also curated with the same mindset. Whether it's a home, office, or digital space, intelligent women create environments that support clarity, calm, and creativity. They declutter not just physically, but emotionally. They remove what is no longer needed, be it old habits, stagnant relationships, or unnecessary distractions. Refinement is as much about subtracting as it is about adding. They understand that simplicity often leads to greater impact. Additionally, their relationships evolve through this process. As they grow, they become more selective, not from arrogance, but from alignment. They seek friendships and partnerships that reflect their values, support their progress, and challenge them in healthy ways. They let go of relationships that no longer contribute to their growth, even when it's difficult. They do not shrink themselves to maintain comfort. They understand that refinement often requires release. Another important aspect of continuous refinement is their emotional and mental well-being. Intelligent women prioritize practices that strengthen their inner life. This could be meditation, journaling, therapy, mindful movement, or meaningful rituals. They don't wait for burnout to make changes. They are proactive about healing, regulating their emotions, and nurturing resilience. They also engage in mental hygiene, choosing what they consume mentally just as carefully as what they consume physically. They understand that protecting their peace is a daily responsibility. What makes their journey of refinement sustainable is that it is guided by internal standards, not external pressure. They don't change because society demands it or trends suggest it. They refine because they value their own evolution. Their benchmark is not other people, it's their past self. They are driven by self-mastery, not comparison. This gives them a sense of control, clarity, and quiet pride in who they are becoming. In essence, the habit of continuous refinement is not loud or dramatic. It is a steady, intentional commitment to becoming more conscious, capable, and complete. Highly intelligent women do not rush the process, they honor it, and in doing so, they craft lives that are not only successful by external standards, but deeply fulfilling from within. In a world that often emphasizes speed, noise, and external success, highly intelligent women stand out not because they follow trends, but because they follow truth, their own. Through intentional living, they design lives of meaning and direction. With emotional discipline, they respond with grace instead of reacting with impulse, and through continuous refinement, they commit to growth as a way of being, not merely a goal to reach. These habits are not about perfection or performance. They are about alignment, living in a way that reflects self-respect, inner stability, and long-term vision. Each habit reinforces the next, creating a foundation for a life that is thoughtful, resilient, and elevated. Highly intelligent women are not defined solely by intellect. They are shaped by the quiet strength of their choices. Their power lies not in being loud or forceful, but in being intentional, composed, and endlessly evolving. This is not only admirable, it is deeply teachable. For any woman willing to reflect, refine, and rise, these habits are not out of reach. They are available to anyone committed to living with clarity, purpose, and self-awareness. And that is the real mark of intelligence, not just knowing, but becoming.